Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. It's a new month, a new day, a new experience. And we're here at the Pirate Broadcast, and we're going to be talking to Liz Jones, who is now a pirate. Liz, good morning. How are you doing? Or good afternoon for you.
Good morning to you. Well, I'm excited to be a pirate.
Well, it's a great opportunity to have a conversation about doing something that is going to be impacting our future, and that's health and wellness. You know, it's one of the things that we want to build a lifestyle around, and you have programs and you have conversations around that all the time. So for those that don't know you, share a little bit about how you help people and what you do.
Well, I help people in really three ways. So I am the founder of Mind Body House, and a prime product of that is our group exercise. So that's all run over Zoom and things like this. So basically, for those who just want to keep fit on a regular basis, lower class group exercise classes. I also provide personal training, which I've been doing for over 10 years. And that's obviously just training people, keeping them fit, a bit of dietary advice and things like that. And then I obviously have the high-end wellness coaching, which obviously combines some of what I would offer as a personal trainer. But the aim is in 3 months' time, you don't need me. You might want to work with me, but you've transformed your life. So that's why it's, like I said, it's higher end. It's much more intense. It's obviously results focused. My clients will message me every single day in that 3 months period. So the aim is to get you into the lifestyle you love and know that if you found a stumble, you know exactly how to get back up. So there's three avenues I work with, which is great.
Well, you know, it's interesting because one of the things that a lot of people, let me speak for me, is that I have a tendency to get busy doing projects and work and helping clients and investing a lot of time in other things. And it seems like my self-care always, has a tendency to fall in the back seat. Mm-hmm. So how do people get around that? And is it internal to me? Is it internal to just blocking time out and making sure that I have commitment and dedication to that? Or what are some tactics that are strategies that you use to help other people like myself to, know that, hey, your health is as important as your income?
Yeah, I mean, the first key part is to know that when you're the best you, so when you're feeling like energized, you just had a good night's sleep and you're feeling clear-minded, you perform better. So straight away, you're straight into, like you focus the day, like what questions were asked. You kind of like, rather than thinking, what do I have to do? You've got that thought process. Yeah. So concentration as well. So that, that mid-afternoon sort of slump. If you've like not, been at your desk all morning, had a quick bite to lunch, you come afterwards, you're just like, your brain is switching off.
It sounds like you know me. It's like I'm mushing this, and every afternoon I go through this slump. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, there's two things. Obviously, some of it can be emotionally based because our sleep and our sleep patterns connect to other elements of our bodies. Mm-hmm. But some of it is the activity level. And so if you've been at desk all day, your brain is just hit the point of just going, I've had enough. I'm kind of done. Let's sleep. And a lot of professionals did that, and they'll grab the extra cup of coffee, maybe a biscuit for a sugary snack. And they're the unhealthy habits that keep reoccurring. Mm-hmm. So firstly, it's identifying that actually what you get from taking care of yourself. And then it is allotting time, but you don't need to say, I need to go and spend an hour at my lunch. You can go, actually, I'm just going to go for a 15-minute walk around the block. Mm-hmm. Or I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to take 10 minutes with my cup of coffee. I'm just going to sit there with my notebook and I'm going to write myself the things I'm really grateful for today. So you're doing things that are good for you, but you only need to take sort of 10 minutes. Or say every hour, just go, actually, I need to, my one, I've got a little house, walk upstairs, walk back downstairs, kind of just get shifting. I do a little get up and do my little wiggle and dance, and everyone's just looking at me. If you ever saw me off camera, I'm like, what? It's to loosen the body up.
Just movement in general. Then.
Yeah, I mean, good stretching. I mean, you could do a 2-3 minute stretching sort of every 1 to 2 hours, and it sort of helps get the blood flow going back around your body, ease physical stiffness. So obviously that blood flow helps creativity in the mind, as well as obviously your energy and your focus. So, you know, you don't need to suddenly go, actually, I can't do it. You just go, actually, I'm going to set myself every hour to take 2 minutes, or every lunchtime, I'm going to take 15 minutes, and just give yourself those little bits.
So when in the afternoon, when I'm starting to feel a little bit sluggish, what I should probably do is go take a quick spin on my bike around the block.
Brilliant. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you'll come back going, oh my God. And you'll find your concentration be higher.
Yeah. And I'd feel refreshed. I'd feel invigorated and, you know, with a new perspective and everything. So the other thing that I've been doing recently that I think has been very useful for myself is meditating. You know, I go through periods where I'm very consistent, and then, you know, it'll fall off the map, and I'll get busy and I'll change projects or direction, and just being present in myself and just realizing, like you said, gratitude. I wake up every day with gratitude, and I make sure that I focus in on what is important and what is necessary to move forward. And I think that's really important for people to realize and at least understand what it means, you know, to be alive today.
Yeah. I mean, meditation as well. People think you've suddenly got to disappear and sit for an hour and become this sort of monk or something. But actually, you can just take 2 minutes. You can do a guided meditation, even just a mental body scan. And there's many levels.
Andrew says hello. And we've got people in the room. Yeah, he says, does lifting a 12-ounce greasy hamburger in my mouth count as weightlifting? No. But Mark says, so if I'm watching this from the gym, does it count twice? For you, Mark, yes. Yeah, it counts twice. Leslie says, good morning. I set my timer every 30 minutes to get up and stretch. My body really likes it. Yeah. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
I mean, if you can't stick to time, you can do it after a task. So you could say, for example, I'm going to do the images and layout for this. Then as soon as you do it, get up and stretch. So you could do it task-based or time-based. As long as your task is not like write a book or something, then you could do it either way.
Well, especially if you're a person that has project-based and you do time blocking.
Yeah.
You know, put it on your calendar. Just have an alarm. You know, there's so many ways right now and so many technologies. You can just set an alarm, you know, put a timer on, and actually take that time to just get up and stretch. Just do something. What about eating habits or changing your habits? You know, this 3 months of time span where you're changing habits. What other habits are you looking at changing and influencing in somebody's life?
So eating is obviously a big part of that, because normally there's a level of weight loss, shape up. You know, they basically want the body and the life they want. So, you know, obviously that's why exercise is always fundamental, because that's the mental side and the body. You know, it's the results we want to get. Nutrition is obviously big, because that obviously affects your energy level, you know, how you sleep, and as well your weight and your internal health. So like your organs, you know, how they function. You know, your liver needs support at times, and that's what detoxes your body. So those sorts of things. We also look at things like when people eat. I know that sounds quite, you know, just how you structure your day. A big one I find is particularly new mums will go, I'll do it later. And next, you know, they're hungry in the evening, so they're eating quite a lot and snacking. And actually, they have low energy, they sleep badly, you know. So we kind of have to kind of look at the whole setup and then pull apart what's actually causing the problems, you know, and how we can sort of shift and juggle that. So I kind of do a bit of everything, you know, in that sort of thing. But that's the idea. We're creating a lifestyle, not. You know,
well, it's almost like a detective discovering what your habits are now that are not serving you, and potentially how do we make some adjustments in your world? Because everybody's different, everybody's unique. And, your eating habits, when you eat, how much you eat, how much you exercise, how much you sleep, all of these are factors that go into a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah. And like you said, everyone is different. So if I turned up to you and went, here you go, these are, say Erica, I gave this to Erica, this is going to work perfectly for you. You would turn around to me and probably go, Liz, go away. Just, because it's not going to work for you. So everybody's lifestyle needs to be looked at from what they're doing. And as you say, pulling it apart. And what most people don't realize is exactly what the bad habits are. So they will go, this is my problem, I'm overweight. But they'll go, no, I eat really healthily. They might eat really healthy, but at really bad times. So their body's just storing everything. Or they're not eating enough. That's another big one. People go, I want to lose weight, so stop eating. And then they don't eat enough. So I go to my clients, my last one who just finished on start of January, she finished a 3-month block. I added a whole extra meal into a day. That's how much extra. So she had like 25 to 30% extra food in her day to actually, that's quite a substantial increase.
Yeah.
Lose weight because now her body is now functioning properly.
So, yeah. What are your thoughts about juicing and some of the people like, intermittent fasting, and there's a lot of, different, I won't call them fads. I'll call them, things that are taking place that are popular right now. Everything's popular.
Fads, don't worry. No, some of them are unhealthy. If you take the Cambridge diet, you can only be on it for 12 weeks. You have to have medical support, and you can't have any, you have to have a medical check before going on it. It also causes side effects like bad breath and things like this. And you're like, okay, so it might give me the result I want, but it causes potentially damage to my body. What people happen if I do the yo-yo? So people start and they'll go on the first diet, so they'll lose weight. Then they'll start gaining weight because they've just done a diet. So then they'll go high for. Then they'll then get diet. Won't get quite as low. So doing this and slowly go up. So overall weight is actually growing. So although they're seeing the changes, the overall result is different. So in terms of what I think a lot of them are a load of rubbish. You need to eat healthy. In terms of things like if you look at sort of juicing, there are advantages to drinking juices. However, as a sole source of your food for the day, unless you've got a medical condition or there's a reason like you've just had your tonsils out or, realistically having a juice for breakfast, fine, as long as it's healthy and nutritional, but not a way forwards. Intermittent fasting is a style more than anything. So can actually be really healthy if it suits you. But for example, intermittent fasting, you see, you just only eat for certain hours, but you still eat the right amount in that window. So it's more of a style of eating than actually a sort of a diet or restriction or something like that.
It's really, and I think it really goes back to what you're proposing is lifestyle. A diet is a period of time where you're changing your habits or you're changing the way you eat or the way you focus in your food. Lifestyle is something that you're looking forward to doing the rest of your life.
And that's the thing, you've hit it. It's like you do it for a window. And it's the same when people do these boot camps, which are great for getting results. I've run several myself. The problem is you hit the end of a boot camp and people go, now what? They'll try and do it themselves. This is why I offer the coaching and the training, and then I have the online studio as well, because people that finish go, I might want that extra bit. And it's like, okay, you can stay with us. You can stay with the community. And there's still support for them. And I can go, you can reach out. So that's one thing as well, is some people just go, you've done it. You've done the 3 weeks. See you later. You're not paying us anymore.
Yeah.
And that I don't think is right. Because like I said, it's a lifestyle habit we're changing. We're forming relationships.
Yeah. Well, and that's the beautiful thing about where we are right now in history is we have an opportunity. I mean, you're a pirate now. I mean, we've had almost 350 episodes with the pirate broadcast, and all of these individuals that have been, so gracious to share their time with the community is they're bringing information to the table. And, it's not like we're in the same room or anything. We're different parts of the world. And all of a sudden we're sharing this information with somebody that can find it useful, find it valuable, and impact your life. We're in an amazing time. So getting the information you need, being accountable, and moving forward with it. Here's another individual that's really making a difference. Nick Gimmel. Nick is really helping a lot of men out in being accountable, being responsible for their lives and everything else going on. Russ Hedges here. Good morning, Russ, in from Oregon, and he's out there making sure that he's also someone that believes in kindness is cool, and the fact that he just wrote a book, that Befuddled, and go check Russ out, because
I will do.
And he says a healthy lifestyle is so important to good and productive life. Mm-hmm. We all know that this is important. Sean Martin is here. Love the distinction of lifestyle being something you look forward to doing the rest of your life. Yes. Yeah. Design a life that works for you, and Mark LaCour says, I'm curious about her building her online fitness community. Any tips for keeping members engaged? That's a great question.
I mean, obviously for my members, obviously with my online, so if I take my online studio, what I've given them for January is I took some time off and brought some guest instructors in. So they had special events. I've also given them a content library, so that if they can't make it, they have updated videos, which will be updated every so often for them. Mm-hmm. I arrange socials, because it's not just it's a lifestyle. It's not just about, can I eat a salad on lunchtime? It's about having the fun and the connection. I also make sure that all my members, people feel connected. I introduce them. So if you're new into my session, I'll go, and this is so-and-so, and this is so-and-so, they're there. And people get a little intro to each other. Mm-hmm. So if somebody doesn't turn up, they go, I thought they were coming today. And people ask about you. So it actually becomes like a little network.
Yeah.
And, if people haven't been for a while, it's that personal touch. I go back to them and go, hey, how you doing? Not seen you for a while. What are you up to? Just reach out, and they're like, oh, I'll be back soon. That's fine, So this is obviously levels of giving them things to look forward to.
Yeah.
Different things in the variety, so they have different spices. And actually recognize and remember, whether you have a list or you remembering their names and putting that personal touch, because people want to feel important.
People are important.
They are. And I make all of them feel like queens and kings, because they are to me. That's why I call them, because everyone's special.
Absolutely. So I know that we've talked a little bit about diet. We've talked a little bit about sleep. One of the things that I get the afternoon lull. We were talking before the show about, okay, I dip in the afternoon, so I need to start inserting the habit of going out and going for a quick spin on my bike, a couple of miles, and just engaging in getting some blood flowing again. Yeah. Another habit that I have that is really kind of challenging. My natural state is I'm a night owl. Mm-hmm. So finding a way to relax and get going to sleep at night, mm-hmm. unwinding, has been challenging for me. And because I get up every morning, around 6 and, mm-hmm. Start my day and start the pirate broadcast. And I want to, have a little bit of rest in between. And back in the days when you live on 4 hours of sleep, it just doesn't work anymore for me. So getting that afternoon dialed in and getting ready for night, and sleeping is important. Any strategies or tactics that you have shared with people that are kind of like, okay, and I don't necessarily nap in the afternoons either. So
I was going to say, What's your getting ready for bed routine? Would be my first question.
I don't have a routine.
And
it's different. Yeah.
That's the thing, because everyone automatically talks about the morning routine, what to start your day with, your cup of coffee, some stretching, gratitude, these good things. What never gets said about, which is the one thing we go through, is that go to bed. And again, it's personal. So what would work for you won't work for somebody else. So that could be, I mean, my one used to be, I used to come home from work and I used to finish about 10, half 10. Sometimes 11 o'clock because I worked in a gym. So I would find I had to sit down and I had a cup of peppermint tea before I went to bed and just stuck Family Guy, anything that was on. I was just like, yeah, stick that on. I don't really have to pay attention. And that was my half an hour. Unless it was work and the alarm, that's my little bubble. That's my sort of switch off. My wind down, then I'll sort of go to bed. Some people need to stretch. So they have this sort of pre-stretch routine. Some will do both, one thing is the dreaded phones in the bedroom. That's because obviously the blue light. One thing on your phones is adjust it so I've turned mine so my blue light will go on and off at certain times. So it's like 10 o'clock at night, automatically it dims down, which means if I look at my phone afterwards, then that's not stimulating my brain to wake up. So between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m., I've got no blue light on my phones.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I would say set together your go to bed routine, have a way to sort of switch off from the day and just have some downtime. If you're physically feeling like your mind's going to go all the time, notebook and pen is a great thing to have by your bed, because if things just shut, you can just write them down, because then you're offloading the information. And then sort of relaxing tea is obviously very good. Chamomile, peppermint, lavender, those sort of things.
Well, I'll try to incorporate. No, I won't try. I'll incorporate some of those things in my daily evening routine.
We'll just start with picking one.
And the other thing I've been I've added recently is taking small breaks and meditating. I have this app called Aura. It's one that they just have a lot of different people on there. They're talking about different subjects, learning, meditation, mindfulness, and different things like that. And I really enjoy that, just taking a break and changing my state of mind and appreciating what's around me and what's going on. Because sometimes we get busy and we forget to think about how fortunate we are and how blessed we are right now. So it's like, if you watch the news, nothing's going right. So I don't watch the news. I try to stay away from that. It's like, just don't go there. So yeah. And Hyatt brings up a great point. Find what works for you and stay with it. That's excellent. Angie's here. Angie, do you like the lighter white light? So we were talking about lighting the other day, and so I had a different color light, a different tone, and it was a little darker. So Darren Birch, always an awesome individual to connect with. Darren's a pirate. He's an author of several amazing adventures in crime fighting. So I just wonder, what other people in the community, what habits do you have that are making a difference, or have there been changes in your world that have made a difference in your life that we can share today? So Angie says she noticed it. Love it. Howard Vale, videos that get your attention. Hello from the UK.
Hi from the UK.
There you go. Fantastic. I want to talk a little bit before we wrap up here today, how people connect and get a hold of you. What's the best way? What are your preferences? How do you like to make those connections and those conversation starters?
Well, I'm big on LinkedIn, so I'm not on Facebook, and I'm hardly on my Instagram. So LinkedIn's obviously the big one for me. On my website, you can, my email is on there. So you can contact me through my website, but also the link to my online classes is on there as well. So.
Oh, fantastic. Andrew says, turn off auto notifications on your phone for most apps, and phone turns off at 9 p.m.
My phone's my phones are on 24/7 on silent. So when I'm working, they're sat in front of me so I can see them light. If I'm not working or not, then I literally cover them up and they're gone.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Sean says 20-20-20 formula from Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club. That's cool. Hey, Darren, started your book this weekend. Angie's reading Darren's book. See how this works? It's amazing. It's just like community, like we were talking about, right?
They know put the 20 minutes exercise.
Sean says 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of reflection, journaling for me, 20 minutes of learning, reading first thing every morning. I love that. Tapping and intermittent fasting, 18 hours a day. You and Red O'Laughlin, Hyatt, are both fans of intermittent fasting. So I love that. You know, there's so many things that we can do to improve our lives, everyone. So I just really encourage you to reach out, get a hold of Liz if you're struggling with what to do next, how to deal with it, or, you know, you just need some influence in your life that makes it a little more productive, a little more less stressful, you know, and thank you so much for being here, Liz. I really appreciate all the things you're doing. What's next on your future? You got a course coming up, right?
Yeah. Well, obviously,
talk about that.
Yeah, the big thing that obviously 2020, last year, on like where are we at now? It obviously taught us people losing jobs, but obviously our health is that important, and we need to stay with it. And we've seen gyms close, gyms open, all this kind of thing. So I've been working on an automatic sort of 4-week course. So I'm doing 2 levels, beginners and the intermediate advanced. And that way people can keep fit for lower cost and wherever they want with limited kit. So, and keep towards their fitness goals. So rather than feeling that they can't afford something because they've just lost their job or whichever, it obviously gives more people the opportunity to get the kickstart they need. So that's my current project I'm working on. And obviously that will help a lot of people to obviously get those goals for 2021.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. I really, 2021 is going to be an amazing year for a lot of people. Those that are doubling down, reflecting on what they really want out of life and focusing in on what works, removing what doesn't work, and making sure that you're paying attention to what you need in life and what is bringing you value. I think, it's a lifestyle. It's a habit. It's something that we're going to be doing every day and look forward to. Yeah. It's something we get to do, not something we have to do. So changing that direction in your life is going to be so important. And with that, the Pirate Broadcast is here to share interesting people doing interesting things like Liz, and make sure that you have an opportunity to actually put things in perspective. And reach out to Liz, connect with her, make sure that you have somebody in your connection, in your inventory of friends and connections in LinkedIn. I'm huge on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I've made friends all around the world, Liz. So it's amazing community. So
it is. I'm with you there.
Yeah. Also, I want to change a little bit of habit, and because this is the first of the month, I also want to let you know that, I'm building out my YouTube stream, and I wanted to also make sure that if you go to YouTube, you can actually catch, tomorrow we're going to have Dr. Kelly Henry, was a chiropractor for years. He was involved in chiropractic, and then he changed and shifted his focus on helping other chiropractors grow their business as well. So that's going to be an interesting. We have Eric Miller back. He's actually created a few courses on Wednesday. We got him coming into the pirate community. Mark O'Brien Mark O'Brien is an individual that I met. He's a cartoon illustrator. He's a man of many talents, and we're going to have an amazing conversation on Thursday. And then Thurston is on Friday. Thurston Baker is a pottery. He owns a pottery company and does a lot of pottery and spinning pots and clay. And so that's an interesting conversation we're going to have on Friday. The point I'm bringing up is you can actually go subscribe to the channel and get notified on these events. And LinkedIn notifies you. However, if you're not on LinkedIn, you don't happen to get the notification. It's kind of, it gets lost in the noise. So just a little habit, little tip there to keep you involved and engaged in the pirate community. So Liz, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you and all of the ideas we've shared today. Any last minute tips that you want to leave, legacy ideas and concepts that we can go move on our day with?
I'll say, don't neglect your health. Even 5 minutes invested in it is the best 5 minutes you'll invest.
Fantastic. Well, everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for all you do, bringing joy to my world. And as you know, kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day. Take care, Liz.
Bye.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow